Hello everyone and welcome to this December 8 Gemini full moon reading. And as always, the full moon is showing us what is ready to be released. It's showing us what's in the spotlight, and so it is pointing to all the stuff that we have going in our subconscious on a subconscious level. It's about our shadow sides being revealed. Things are out in the open, and so it is, as I mentioned before, releasing time. What are we ready now to let it go of so that we can be moving on? So this also means that when we have a closer look what's been in what we would call perhaps our shadow sides or our darker side, in our most private sides, when that is coming out to reveal itself, it can be very emotional, since the moon is also ruling in Cancer in the 4th house of the zodiac, where it is about our roots, it is about our past, it is about our routines, it is about our safety zone. And as Cancer is also marking the energy of extreme sensitivity, it is also where we become extremely emotional every time there is a full moon. This time the full moon will hit the zodiac sign of Gemini. Now Gemini is very curious. It is this childlike attitude towards things. It wants to get out there and get moving. It wants to go to the library. It wants to seek out more information. It wants to travel. It wants to have dialogues with people. And this is also where we meet the planet Mercury, which is all about trade and transport and commerce. And it is also about our communication skill, okay, how we think, how we write, how we talk. And as I mentioned before, this is also about moving around in our everyday life, you know, the situations, the people, the places that we meet on an everyday life basis. So this is also an air sign, which is the fastest of the 4 elements. And this is pointing to our mental state, to our thinking patterns, everything that is going on within our mind. So it can also be pointing to our logic sense. So this is where the full moon will be hitting. So also this is about where we could learn something new, where we are being more social. We want to go out and meet people. We want to have dialogues. We want to exchange information. So let's see what the full moon in Gemini has for us. And as always, maybe you want to have a closer look in your own natal chart where you have Gemini energies, to find out where this full moon, in which area of your life it will be highlighting, where you are going to be more social, where you're going to maybe learn something new, or there are new information coming in for you that you've been waiting for. Also with Mercury, we always need to have a closer look at what has been said, what has been learned, because we want to know that everything that we have been communicating and everything that has been communicated back to us, that it's truthful, that there is something to it, that we have been checking up on the details so that we can rely on it. And remember to go with the colors, numbers and figures on the cards wherever you feel that it's leading you, because this is all about our intuition. The moon is pointing to our soul, our feelings, and also pointing to the element of water. And water always holds information and wisdom. It's our inner library. So always check in with yourself on that. Okay, so the card that is coming out for us from the first deck is this card, Team Spirit. Work together as a team. Cooperation, enthusiasm, loyalty, and kindness will ensure a successful outcome. Yes, as I mentioned before, this is where we get social. We want to get out and meet people. We want to talk. We want to have dialogues. And also with Gemini, we want to have a little bit of fun, okay? So maybe you'll find that there could be some kind of invitation coming out for you for a smaller or bigger party or some kind of social event. So definitely have a look out for that. But this is about, you know, seeking also, I feel, like-minded people. This is where we like to get together. We want to exchange information, and also we want to make sure here that we are gathering with the people who have the same kind of attitude towards things, that it's people who also know what loyalty is about, what cooperation is about, what feeling enthusiastic, what all that means. And I feel that there's a lot more joyous conversations coming in here. We're curious, we want to learn more, and if there could be some kind of fun being involved with that, definitely this is a very significant Gemini sign. So let's see what cosmic groups or cosmic energies are coming in for this full moon in Gemini. Okay, we have one card coming out here. Okay, now we have card number 9. It's the grace, the short grace coming out in reverse. So upside down, this card is talking about, you know, it's saying timid, misunderstood, and shy. This is where we don't feel accepted or anything like that. But coming out in reverse, it's actually the opposite. Okay, we feel that maybe we're coming out of this being shy, and that's a typical Gemini sign as well. It's not shy. Well, it can be, but it has this humor going on all the time. So it's very joyous. So we are coming out of that now. We're coming out of being misunderstood. We're coming out of making excuses why we shouldn't be out there, why we shouldn't get together. I'll place it over here because with Mercury, it's also this small traveler. Everything that has been exactly misunderstood or things have been in delay, that could be a Mercury retrograde sign, for example. That's why I mentioned before that it's very important with Mercury that we know when, you know, when to deliver what kind of information, okay, and make sure that we are checking up on what we have been communicating and what's being communicated back to us, that there is some kind of truthful stuff going on there, that we can rely on the details in all of that. So we are coming out of maybe a period of time where we have been a little bit led back. We felt that we've been misunderstood, that we have had to keep in the shadow sides. And I also like how there is actually a full moon here. So the grace, the short ones, will maybe show up, maybe with number 9. Maybe that number has a specific meaning for you. So, but 9 is also talking about endings. So there could be something ending here where you feel on a personal level that you've been very misunderstood, that you've been left in the shadow side, that you have not had any friends around you, or you've been going back and forth around relationships. Doubts is also coming up here, and where you feel that people maybe have been stepping all over you, and right now you're coming out of all of that. So let's see what the fairies have to say through this full moon. And actually the 5th element in the fairies world is the moon is what is connecting the 4 elements. Okay, the moon has a very specific meaning here. And also the fairies are, at the same time, they're very grounded. They have a very unique relationship with Mother Earth and her energies. So it's very tangible whenever they are showing up, whether we believe in them or not. I know that many people have seen them in nature, actually, with their naked eye. So definitely all of this exists. And so to me, it's not really a matter of belief. It's more like it's tangible. So, okay, we have a lot of cards coming out. Now let's have a look at them. Okay. They are pairing up in 2 groups. So let's have a look at the first group that is coming out here. And here we have these 2 cards coming out. Card number 38, so that could also be an 11 or a 2. And this is Laiste, Moon's daughter, who is exactly showing us the light through the darkness, okay? Our wild inner nature, which is also pointing back to the moon, which is this inner, unpolished, wild nature that we hold within us. And then we have card number 8 in reverse. I'll just show you in its upright position. It's the singer of courage. Card number 8. And since we have the full moon on the 8th, that could be a specific reference to that here, that it's very important now to have a focus on that, because it's like I mentioned before over here also that we have had some kind of doubts. Doubts are coming out, but here it's like we are being shown the way through, the light through. There is someone coming in here, Laiste, the moon's daughter, to show us the way to how to turn this card in its upright position. She's showing us where we're not courageous enough. She's showing us the dark side of always asking the question, well, why me, or why us? Why do we have to do this? Instead of just doing it, instead of just looking at what is being put in front of us of challenges or tasks that we really need to work through. She's showing us what the dark side of that is. That's what's being highlighted throughout this full moon. Why us? Why do we have to do this work? Why do we have to be on Earth at this particular time? Why do we have to assist people in this and that? Instead of asking that, she's showing us the way to what true courage really is. So that's what's being highlighted. That's what's coming out of the shadow sides. Our lack of courage, actually. So a very strong message I feel here from the fairies. So we got to rely on the moon's daughter. She's never lying to us. She's showing us what is truly going on. And truly we are not showing up with a lot of courage here. And she's showing us now what the dark side of that can be when we're not showing up with all it takes, okay? And that's why I feel that there is an underlining of here that we now have got to come into some kind of team spirit. Maybe also open up to more telepathy, for example. There is also this divine energy going on in Gemini, as above, so below. Because it's holding no prejudice. It's a non-judgmental energy we've got going here. And that's why this can easily show up now. What is easily coming out now is where we lack courage. This is the shadow side that we have been left in because we've not had a lot of courage. That's what we are working our way out of now, coming more into team spirit, coming out of being timid, misunderstood and shy, and maybe a little bit vain, even I feel with this full moon, Gemini is a very down-to-earth energy. It's not a very, you can say, royal zodiac sign. It likes to do things that is just here and now. They're very much present, very much here and now, like a child that is playing. It's completely free of ethics and stuff like that, and grown-up stuff and education and all of that. My God, how boring is that? What did Gemini think about that? So the shadow sides are coming out now on where we have been lacking courage to get together, to get the stuff done, where we have been completely misunderstanding each other, and we feel shy and no, we don't have to do that, or we're too vain to do that, it's not for me, or people stepping all over us where we don't feel that people have been listening to what we've been saying or thinking. So we are coming out of that as a collective, since I'm reading for the collective here. But on a personal level, it can be that you may feel these energies as well, that there's been something in your life where you have lacked the courage to really do something, to step out as you, or to step out to present an idea, for example, something like that. Now the next group of fairies that are coming out are these three. So let's see what they have for us. Okay, so the first one coming out is coming out in reverse, card number 33. It's normally looking like this. It's fairies of the future, and it's like there's a close-up here. It's like, no, we are not yet ready to move out in the future, perhaps. The next card coming out is card number 54, Epona's wild daughter. So now we have the moon's daughter and we have the wild daughter here. And if we place them like this, you can see how Epona's wild daughter is looking back on number 38, the moon's daughter, to say, you know what, when you're done that, when you have let the collective out in to see what it is that they're lacking, I will receive them here with a lot of wisdom. The owl, we have the owl here. She's waiting for us to come out. It's like she's saying, come out and play with me. Back to the Gemini energy in the background, right? Come out and play. Have a little fun. Go back to your wild nature. Remember what it was all about. Okay, because you are closing out, you're closing the future out here. You've been it is really time to have a closer look on our wild nature, back to the beginning. Also, the moon is about the past and previous lifetimes. It's time, maybe, it's like the song we always hear, we listen to in December. Look to the future now. There's a Christmas song about that. Look to the future now, it's only just begun. Something like that. My apologies for my voice, but something like that, it's coming up. And 5 plus 4, it's also 9. Back to the grace. It's time to come out of being misunderstood and no, I can't do that, and why do we have to do that? Asking all those questions instead of just showing up with a lot of courage. Because the future is something that we can turn around now, but we really need a lot of wild energy here to come out. Now the last card to come out is also coming out in reverse. I'm just showing you in its upright position, number 32. It's a beautiful card, Iris of the Rainbows. Okay, we can see how she's holding the rainbow here in her hand, and she's also about the future actually. But I feel here that we really need to step in here. We need to step in to our wild nature here. It's like she's in the middle. Epona's wild daughter is in the middle here. Okay, so she is like rectifying by on something that is unjust, or something that we have never noticed before, an energy that we have never really been taking in. She's rectifying that now for us. She's in the middle of it all, spreading her energies out to the future, to the rainbow, where we are coming into much more alignment with each other. Back to the card over here, where we also have the rainbow colors. Coming back as a collective that can communicate, that actually is taking responsibility for the future, because there is something that is being shut down here, and we are shutting down communication. That's what we've been doing. We've not been in alignment. We have not dared to look far enough into the future to see what not being courageous actually would have, what kind of effect that would have on our future. We have not been very visionary. So there's something new coming in here, where we are learning that in this, throughout this full moon in Gemini. Something new is coming in, a more unpolished nature, where we need to communicate. Communication, come out of vanity or laziness, or whatever it is that's been holding us back. And also with all the COVID going on in the world and lockdowns, it's really been putting out a lot of, taking out energy of communication. Can we communicate? Is it okay to get together? All of that has really, it's been closed down, and now it's beginning to open up. We need to come back to that wild energy again, because it's like we have become completely sterile to have play, to have fun and to play and communicate and get social and just do it with Gemini. Don't think about it that much, just do it. Be curious, get out there, seek more information. What is it that has been holding us back? What is it that has been led us to believe that we are not courageous, that we are being misunderstood, that we have got to be shy, that we cannot be accepted with the ideas that we have? Of course we can. Now it's time to come back to that wild energy with the moon in Gemini, and really turn these two other cards around by listening to Epona's wild daughter, okay? Because we have been shutting down any kind of dialogue with other universal entities or spiritual guides, or what we might call it. We've been shutting down for looking to the future, from being visionary, okay? With the air zodiac signs, we are up in the air. We are trying to get an overview of things, and it's like we've been so much in the details, and it's like we've been so much in low vibrational energies. It's time now to rise up, to get an overview of things, to get back and get visionary, okay? So let's pull some cards from the animal realm to see what they have for us. And there are one card coming out right away. Okay, let's just see what else. Yeah, we have one more out here. Okay, so we have two cards. The first card is number 4. This is Badger Spirit. Be fearless and bold. Exactly. And back to the 4th house where the moon is actually ruling. So I feel that there is some kind of direct message from the moon, whomever, whatever we think is living on the moon. There is a strong message from the moon, directly from our inner wild nature this time, Epona's wild daughter and Laiste, the moon's daughter. There is something coming out here, and maybe it's something from our forefathers, even ancestors. It's very much coming up. It's like they're talking to us directly. Again, back to Gemini. We like to talk a lot in Gemini. We like to communicate. Be fearless and bold. Exactly. We'll place it over here with... Okay, that didn't... Okay. We'll place it over here. Okay. And there is blossoming here. Be fearless and bold. Step out there. Get social. Communicate. Put some flowers in your hair. Bring flowers to each other. Make each other blossom. Okay? The other card coming out is card number 23. Wow. Yeah. Eagle Spirit. Spirit has your back. So 2 + 3 would also make it 5. So when we dare to go out there and be bold and fearless, Spirit will have our back. That is actually when we are in complete alignment with our soul mission here. That is when we dare to be who we are. And why is it that always takes so much courage just to be who we are? That should be the most natural thing in the world. Just to go out there and be who we are. So, Spirit has our back. Very important. I'll place it here. Okay. So let's have some tarot cards to see what other information could come out here. So also, like I mentioned before, we have a bird, we have the eagle here. Again, a reference back to the air element and the air element signs or air zodiac signs. It is time now for some kind of divine communication, alignment with our thinking patterns and our feelings. So we'll just pull some tarot cards here from the Witch's Tarot and see what they have for us. What do they have for us. What's going on? A little bit more information. A little bit more information. Okay. We have one card out, so let's see if there are more cards. More information. Yes. Okay. So let's have a look at these two cards coming out. Okay, so we have one major arcana coming out, and the major arcana is always pointing to the bigger energies coming in, and the card coming out here is card number 3, the Empress. Okay, and she's all about fertility. We can see how she's carrying her baby here, her unborn baby here, and fertility, new beginnings, and also beneficial influences. She's bringing clarity also here with her wand or torch. So she's bringing clarity, and she's also bringing us the ability to actually do something concrete about things, okay? Because in Gemini we can get all, up in the air talking and even perhaps gossiping, and it can also be rumors and scandals, and it's just communication. So we need to really also remember to have our feet on the ground here with Gemini, so that we are keeping our high vibrational energies going here, okay? That we don't fall into rumors and gossiping and stuff like that, the low vibrational part of Gemini, that we keep to the higher vibrational of that zodiac sign, and that we are not just talking, but that we're also doing something concrete about it, okay? And the other card coming out was a card from the Minor Arcanas, which is pointing to the 4 elements, to the life areas and zodiac sign energies. And here we have a Cups card, Page of Cups coming out here. And the Cups cards are actually pointing back to all the water signs of the zodiac, including the moon's own home sign, Cancer. So very emotional full moon here. Page of Cups is pointing to innocent energy, just love, pure love, something that is cooperating with us just because it wants to, that kind of energy. And that's what we are giving birth to now. That's what we are gaining clarity on. That's where we are having beneficial influences, actually, to be also in our feelings, even though we are up in the air here, we are in our minds, we are communicating, we are seeking information, we are in our thinking patterns here. We need to remember to step into our hearts, feelings, sensitivity, psychic abilities as well, our intuition, okay? Because Gemini is a masculine energy, which means it's forward moving, it's fast moving, it wants to get going. And then we have the Cups coming out here, the water zodiac signs, to show us that please remember to stay in your intuition, stay in the feminine. So we have the instincts here with the masculine, and we have the intuition with the feminine going on here. So please remember that. Be in your hearts. But again, I feel there's this childlike energy that is going very well with the Gemini energy, this innocent energy that is just showing up with love, just because it can. It holds no second, second thoughts, I think you call it in English. There's no strategy behind this. This is an innocent energy showing up just because it can, just because it wants to. So there is something also being given birth to there, fertility, again back to Gemini, which is also the child. So a lot of new, fresh beginnings, new stuff being born. We are gaining clarity on where to go next. And I feel that where we need to take concrete action is actually through using our intuition, using our psychic abilities, using our sensitivity, okay? So let's pull an advice card. And also, I always use this card deck when we are dealing with the moon and the water zodiac signs, because this card deck is about our dreams and feelings and psychic abilities and all the energies that are represented in the water zodiac sign as well. So let's see if there is a direct, specific advice here for us but definitely coming more out in the open, and also remembering just to be there for each other just because we can. Just because we can. That is actually being fearless and bold, when we're showing up with our feelings and emotions and we're just saying, you know what, I'm just doing this because I can. That's actually very bold. In the world that we have been creating, that is a bold, that is something bold. And of course that should be something completely natural. But to be able to get back into the natural environment within ourselves, we need to step out and be bold by showing up with these energies, okay? That's how we're going back to ourselves, to our wild inner nature. So a lot of balance coming back now also, I feel. And there's also a lot of motherly energy going on with the Empress. So back to the mother and the moon again. That someone is holding us, that we're coming out now with this complete new innocent energy, where we are not backstabbing each other or gossiping or anything else. This is very much the high vibrational energy with the eagle showing up here. It's calling very much for the high vibrational energies of Gemini. So wherever there has been rumors or scandals or gossiping going on, it's like there's a cleansing off of all of that. Now the card coming out here is talking about attraction. I attract a loving, happy, fulfilling relationship into my life. Exactly. Back to team spirit. Oh, always. Yeah, let's, you know, this reading could very much be called, you know, team spirit. Come back to team spirit. Attract like-minded people. Attract what's happy, what's loving, what's completely emotional, fulfilling. Come back, Mother Moon, okay? Motherly energies, come back to your safety zone. It's safe to show up with your emotions, okay? But before we are going back to the 4th house and the moon, coming back to that means that we need to step out and be fearless and bold right now in showing up with exactly these feelings, to be able to come back to the wilder inner energies of our within ourselves, okay? So maybe you'll find also that there are new people showing up in your life right now throughout this full moon. Remember that you will feel the energies a couple of days before and a couple of days after, and even a little bit longer after the full moon has taken place, okay? So let's finish off this reading by pulling a blessings card. Let's see what kind of blessings are coming in. Just let's just have one word to help us move into these full moon energies. This time in Gemini on December 8th. What's going on? What can we expect? But we really need to step out of those shadow sides that we have been, I would say that we have been left in the dark, and now it's time to come out to have a close look at where we have not been taking responsibility, where we have not been courageous enough to speak up, you know, speak up with Gemini. Get the truth out there. Spirit has our back. We cannot go wrong here. When we are just showing up with, you can say, toxic-free emotional energies, then nothing can go wrong. So a relationship between yin-yang, masculine, feminine energies, is also showing up here to be rectified this time, I feel. To get out the duality that Gemini is standing for, or is underlining normally. I feel that right now there is some kind of dissolving that right now. We're coming out of duality, stepping more into more alignment, oneness, team spirit, right? We are just one here. We are one collective here on the earth. Okay, so let's see what card is showing up here so that we can see what blessings we are receiving through this full moon. Okay, the card cards are not exactly jumping out of the deck. Okay, let's see what's going on. Okay, and just as I was mentioning that, the cards are beginning to jump out of the deck. Well, it's just I'm sorry about that. Okay, and funny enough, a card from this card deck that I just used, somehow this card has been blending in with this card deck that I was just using. So let's have a look at that. Okay, explore. I explore new horizons as I follow my passion. Now is the time to move forward. Okay, great. Yes, let's turn this future card around, you know, and also explore new horizons with Gemini energies, and also through using our passion back to the water signs, back to the Cups card, and do it passionately. Do it with this childlike energy that we find in Gemini. Okay, because it is time to move forward. We are in an air element zodiac sign here, so it is time to get up and fly. Fly with spirit. Okay, explore new horizons. We must not forget that the sun is right now in Sagittarius, which is the sister sign of Gemini, of course, and in Sagittarius we are really trying to get out there to exactly explore, but really making quantum leaps of faith. Okay, so I also feel that there's a lot of Sagittarius energies in this reading as well. Okay, so we have 4 cards, and just go with the words wherever you feel they are leading you. Okay, so that will be me wrapping up this reading. Okay, we are coming out of grieving. We can see butterfly transformation. There's been some kind of grieving going on. Next card out is reconciliation. Full moon. We're coming back to ourselves. We are remembering who we are. Okay, we are integrating something within ourselves, our wild, inner, unpolished nature, coming out of grieving here, coming back to ourselves on an emotional level. Next card out is, of course, blessings. It's like all doors are opening up. And last card is healing. Okay, so we're also going through a lot of healing every time there's a full moon, because it is showing us what has been left in the dark side of ourselves. Okay, and what has been left in the dark side, what we have not yet healed, what we have not yet had a closer look at, and that's coming out now. So we are healing communication, we are healing dialogues, we are healing information that perhaps haven't been that truthful, that has left us in the dark side. It's coming out now to reveal where we should get together, be enthusiastic, cooperate, be kind towards one another. Okay, be fearless and bold, speak our mind, speak up, and come more into courage again, taking control over things as a population, as a collective here on earth, where we are working together, and where we are coming out of vanity, and where we're coming out of a lot of grieving. Now we are transforming out of that what has left us in bad communication. Okay, and right now also we have actually Mars retrograde in Gemini. Mars is this warrior, it's conflict, it's wars, it's demonstration, but it's also a fierce energy. It wants to fight for what it knows is true. It has this great devotion also. Okay, so we are coming out of everything that has left us perhaps in a very warrior-like communicative situation. Okay, we're coming out of that now, coming back to ourselves, receiving a lot of blessings. Every door is open now for this healing to come in how we are communicating with each other. So this was what I had for you in this full moon reading. I hope that you have been inspired to dive deeper into all of this. I'm wishing you a happy December 8th full moon in Gemini 2022. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Take great care of yourselves out there through these changing times, okay? So thank you so much, and bye for now.